morning. I swear a lot.
Hello friends and welcome back to In Stars and Time. So, two big pieces of news. One is not so much news. First of all, y'all came through. I know where to find that diary now. It's in the library, second floor. Very much appreciated, guys. Thank you very much. Second of all, I've got a new chair, which means I won't be spending hours swearing at my chair and trying to get into a position where it won't fall over if I sit back in it with my back against it. I'm not even trying to lean, but the whole thing just fucking capsized as I sat back against it. Now, I can actually sit in the fucking chair and it will be a chair. So that's really nice. Glad for that. So we gotta go find the diary, but also been encouraged to have a quick look around Dormont, so I'm gonna do that, but with some liberal editing, so that you guys have to sit and watch me check everything. But Mirabelle wasn't blessed by the Change God. She was blessed by the head housemaiden. Doesn't make that much of a difference to you, but Mirabelle seemed very worried at the idea of people knowing, so much that she kept the truth a secret. Probably Mirabelle getting stressed out for nothing. How would you react if she wasn't actually blessed by the Change God? Huh? What do you mean? If she wasn't blessed by the Change God, then it would mean the Change God abandoned us, right? Oh, yeah, it would mean there was no hope for Vogard, right? Where is this coming from anyway? You said this hypothetically, right? She's really blessed by the Change God, right? Vogard will be saved, right? Fucking hell. Alright. You get it now. Hypothetically, of course. Good God. Oh, okay. Phew, you had me worried for a second there. Oh, what a relief. You understand Mirabelle a bit better now. Yeah. People get weird about this sort of thing. Alright, well, I've checked every fucking building, so, not a lot going on at the moment. To the second floor. We need to go to the library. DJ, hit me with that funky fruit. I'm not sure if I could even bring myself to do that once, let alone the amount of times Sifrin's done it. $46. You're annoyed there isn't a more dignified way to loop back in the village. Yeah, I know, right? I don't remember where the library is exactly on the second floor, but there we go. Just being told that it was on the second floor saved me so much time. Sparkly diary. Oh, this one looks fairly recent. We could read a little bit, like a tiny bit. You probably should right now. Okay, sure. We do not have time, is what I would usually say. Crab. Yeah. The name of this country. You try to remember. Only silence answers you. Is this what the king wanted you to remember? Just remember it. Say it. Make it real. You can't say it. You don't even want to try, but... You turn to Isabeau. But can you try and say it anyway? But why? Just gonna give me a headache. Isabeau looks at you. Something about your expression makes him reconsider. Perhaps the age of years on your face, having repeated the same day over and over again, or the abject misery obviously etched onto your face, causes him to reconsider. Well, sure, Sif. I'll say it. That country's name was... you don't remember. I think it's not even a case of people being unable to remember as such. I think the headaches just caused them to not literally forget, but they stopped saying it because they would get headaches when they'd say it. So everyone just stopped saying it, and as a result, everyone forgot. Like, there is some magical element there, but it's a little less magical and a little more just standard psychology. I don't know. You know, I had it before, but now that I'm actively trying to remember it, nothing comes to mind. Oh, is that so? You're dumb, Czar, I know it. It's... okay, it might be a little more mystical then, actually. Fair enough. Where? But... Wait. Huh? What's... Can't remember it either, yeah? When you asked me, answering you felt automatic, like if you asked me what 1 + 1 makes. But trying to remember it now is more like calculating 72 times 89, which I can't do quickly. Nah, that's 6,408. I have a brain and I know how to use it. Alright, so fucking hell. Like, hats off to you. What? Isabeau? Nah, it felt more like asking me to remember my first steps. How can I remember that? I can't remember that. How can you expect me to remember that? What a terrible analogy. But I can't seem to remember it either. When we were talking about it, I could think it clearly, but trying to remember it now, let alone say it, I can't remember the country itself either. I just remember it was an island north of Vogard, and it had a different belief than the change belief, didn't it? Something about the sky, stars. You know, the universe. That's right, the universe. Oh yeah, like stars and stuff. We also know that people could remember that country clearly before, and... my head is killing me. And we know that trying to remember stuff makes our brains hurt. Let's stop here. It'd be bad to fight the king with a raging migraine. Yeah, sorry we couldn't say it, Sif. You don't respond. It's kind of important though, guys, if you could really just push your brains. Stars. So the king is from that country as well. The country no one can remember. Your country. The country you were born in, raised in, spent your entire childhood in. And yet, even now, thinking about it, what it may have looked like, you can't even imagine it. For a long time now, you haven't been able to remember anything about it. You forget it even exists half the time. Anything linked to that country has just stopped existing for you. Your childhood, your parents, your life, your language, your culture, your faith, the stars, the constellations, the universe. It feels like we're working our way back there, though. It's all gone, forgotten. The king. He was from there, you're sure of it. And then something happened and the country disappeared without a trace, unable to be remembered by anyone. I bet he did it. I bet he did it. I bet he did it. Probably unintentionally. No one can remember what it made everyone forget about its very existence. Something must have, right? But if it happened, if he's so attached to it, he asks you if you remember it every single time you see him. If he's so attached to that country, why would he be so obsessed with Vogard then? Why would he decide to freeze it all in time? You can't figure it out quite yet, but there must be something somewhere. Something that's similar to his goal. Something somewhere? Oh, I'm gonna call Loop. Loop always knows what to do. Loop's pretty good at this sort of thing. Make the secret hand sign. Think about talking to Loop. Close your eyes. It's me! Thank you for calling. How may I help you? What should I do now? So the king is from that country. The country no one can remember. The way he asks if you remember every time you meet him. The way he talks about the stars, the universe. I never knew before. Never would have guessed, because you're from a loop where you didn't do that shit. Now you're here, helping me. But then, why is he so focused on Vogard? Exactly. Why freeze Vogard in time, specifically? We know he appeared in Vogard in his adulthood. In the city of Corbeau, right? It's a nice place to live. And he must have stayed long enough to have put down some roots. He said earlier, he thought Vogard was perfect. Perfect. And yet he wanted to freeze it in time. Freezing something perfect in time. Somehow it reminded me of something, but I forgot. See, you should look around for something similar to what he wants. Come to me if you get stuck. I might have remembered what freezing something perfect in time is making me think of. Okay, right. So something similar to what he's talking about, you know, freezing something perfect in time. There's a lot of things frozen in time in the house right now. What could be considered perfect or similar to what he's talking about? Alternatively, I could just bonk myself, go back to Vogard and ask. Back to Vogard, back to Dormont and ask Loop, who may have figured something out. That does seem a lot more expedient than running around the house and getting lost, does it not? Yeah, I think I'll do that. More XP, Sifrid is now level 72 and learn the craft skill tear you apart. Well, hang on a minute. Hold on, you can't just... Deals big paper damage to one enemy, gives 2 jackpot points instead of 1. So now I have that and... what the fuck's it called? Oh, did it just upgrade that? Oh, okay, so it's super strong now. Let's see. You slice. And they dead. Okay, fucking marvelous. Right, very good. The king's gonna be even more of a joke now. Loop, I need help. I can't do anything by myself, and I admit it. He said he'd do the favor tree thing. Oh, sorry, I'm in your way then, aren't I? I'll get out of your hair. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm such a burden. Wow, Sifrin, thanks. Poor Isaboy. Hey, Stardust. I can help you? You certainly can. Let's talk about something. See if you've got anything else to talk about. Wait, actually, my turn to ask a question. It was your turn last time. You know, don't you, what your fighter is trying so hard to say to you? You flinch. Visibly. No, I don't. Is that so? Alright, well, that was a conversation, wasn't it? Maybe, have you figured something out yet? From that country no one can remember, asks you remember every time you meet him, talks about the stars, universe, he never knew before, never would have guessed. But then, why is he so focused on Vogard? Exactly. Why freeze Vogard in time specifically? We know he appeared in Vogard in his adulthood. In the city of Corbeau, right? It's a nice place to live, and he must have stayed long enough to put down some roots. He said earlier that Vogard was perfect. Perfect, yes, you want to freeze it in time. Freezing something perfect in time. Like a picture! Maybe the picture from the mirror on the 3rd floor. Right? Oh, a picture. We need to show him the picture, surely. 50 loops. The big 50. You could do some math to figure out how many days, weeks, months you've been stuck here, but you don't always spend very long in a single loop. But sometimes you do spend more than 24 hours in there. So doing the math would be easy enough. But do you want to, though? But you won't, because you're smart. You can guess what it would do to your brain. Yeah, for real. Back to it. So, I need to... Shit. I thought... But you need that picture in order to fucking get the key in order to get here. Alright, I have to go back then. It's fine, it's whatever. King must be up ahead. Are you ready? Technically, but also no. Sorry, lads, I'm off. Have a good one. I'll do the 3rd floor. All I need to do is get the picture and then loop forward, right? Yeah, I'll just do that then. Pictures are so rare. That's why this is significant. What should we do with it? Odile looks at you. Would you keep it safe for one with all the secret pockets? You nod. Got the mirror picture. Put the picture in your pocket along with your souvenirs. Glad to have the picture back. It's proof. Proof that you're here on this journey. Proof that you were with your family members. Proof that you love them. Even if you forget, and you forget a lot. It's proof that you and your friends existed. Proof that you were happy. Proof that this moment happened. Perfectly frozen in time. I'm actually kind of maybe just a teeny little bit smart, and I'll fucking take it. Feel good about this one. After the country was forgotten, the king was welcomed by Vogard, wasn't he? Welcomed and helped and loved, to the point where he sees Vogard as perfect. He's trying to take a picture of the country, yes. But no one knows why the country was forgotten. What's keeping Vogard from being forgotten the exact same way? Wasn't it his duty, as thanks for welcoming him, to make sure such a fate would never befool Vogard? Words are hard today for some reason. It's the new chair, lads. It's fucking me up. What else could he do? But make sure this perfect country was preserved in amber forever. How could he ever let go? You understand the king more than you'd like to. But still, he's... You want to talk to him again. And we will. Like now, because I have nothing else to do. Do I still have the knife key thing equipped? I do. Okay. It doesn't matter. I can beat him without the knife key, but it is easier with the knife key. Ah, good sleep. If only. Someday I'll know what that means. You wake up, dreamt about someone crying into nothing. Whose voice was it? So I should have the knife key, yes? Yes. Cool. And then I'll change this to that. And then, just quickly, because I probably need it on me. Yeah, I've got the mirror picture. Okay, very good. Moving on. Let's do this. Once again, I doubt this is going to crack the fucking story wide open, but it's just another chip made away at the impenetrable wall that is the mystery of the loops. Getting there. And the fleur-de-lis in the background. Very nice. Oh, is it that time again already? Hello, young ones. You know, it hurts my knees staying like this all the time. Do you remember? Does it matter? But it does to me. What else does? Oh, we shall fight in the universe, blah, blah, blah. We'll fight once I've finished asking you questions, buckaroo. Knife key glows. Get ready. Oh, he's very quick. He waited before I could even ask a question. I dare say. I got questions for you, kingly person. We've asked this question before, but where are you from? Will he say it if you ask? Can he say it? Someone asked you this exact question before and you couldn't answer. And you couldn't say anything. You forgot it all. But... Where I'm from? Oh! Bright one. If you're asking with such a look in your eye, do you remember then? Can you see it? Can you picture it? Bright one, please, you can't. You have to remember. I know you can. We both can. We're the only ones present here who can. What? Sifrin, what's he talking about? Sif, are you okay? Bright one. Ignore them, just between you and me now. No. You're trying, I can tell. But the knowledge keeps escaping you, doesn't it? Slipping through your fingers. It is the same for me. But we have to try to remember, Bright One. I see flashes of it, of what was. The mountains, the sea, the lightless sand, dark like the night sky. Oh, I've seen dark sand before. It looks fucking cool. Our country, Bright One. Our country. Our home. We have to say it. I did notice that the music changed. We cannot let oblivion win. Our home. We can rebuild it together. Your power and my... Oh, this is a moment, isn't it? What if we join the king? I'm not... It seems like a situation where it's like, well, obviously Sifrin's gonna say no, because he's the bad guy and we're the good guy, but... Sifrin is a troubled young person with a lot of problems, and understandably so. You have to imagine how tempting that would be. We just have to wish for it. We just have to ask. We just have to say its name. Oh, I get it. So his big thing is, if I can remember what the place is called, I can wish for its return and it will be returned. Right. The fight ended. I win. Ooh. Ah. Ooh. Ah. Ooh, a lot happens just there. That was a new Sifrin expression, and the king's fucked, and... Ooh, okay. Sif? Ah! No. No. You heard it. He said it. He tried to say it. Your country's name, your home, your... No, it's gone. It's gone. Did he say it? All of it? Did he say it? We suffered a lot of damage when he said it. You couldn't hear it. Can't remember it. Can't... Well, what's happening? The king is attacking Sifrin. Well, I mean, indirectly. Technically. Not on purpose. Everyone protect him. Stop talking, king. Leave Frin alone. Sif, your head, it feels like it's splitting in two. Your country, your home, you can't remember it. It's gone. Gone from your past, gone from your mind, gone from the very planet you stand on, and it was yours. It was yours and it's gone and you can't even say its name. But if the king could, then maybe, this will obviously lead to the end of a loop. That's for damn fucking certain, but... That's an interesting decision, isn't it? Because it's clearly a bad idea to say it. Because it's... The king pretty much said it and it caused a big problem, but... I'm gonna say it. You have to say it. If he couldn't do it, maybe you can. Maybe you both can. Bright one, please. You inhale. You try to grasp it. Grasp its name. Oh boy. Oh no. Ooh. Screen's getting darker. It's going bad. Everything's going wrong. No! Your throat, your head, it hurts. You spit blood, you hack up, you have to get it out. Brad 1, I almost heard it. Please, again. Once again, we have to try together. Your entire body hurts. Oh, that's actually really fucking intense. Say it. Your head is killing you, but you have to try, you have to. We have to stop the king. Sifred, whatever he's telling you to say, stop. Fred, Sifred, but you have to. What do they know anyway? What do they understand anyway? The pain of not remembering your own blinding country, your own home. The king is right, you have to get it back. You have to get it back. You inhale. Oh boy, this was a bad idea. Ooh. Someone is screaming. Could be you, could be the king, could be your friends, could be anyone, but someone is screaming right now. You realize it's your own voice. Your throat feels raw, your head feels like it's splitting in two, your stomach feels like a black hole. The scent of sugar is all around you, so thick you almost gag on it. You can't hold on to anything anymore. But it's all gone. Ooh, ooh, that was a whole thing. I was genuinely worried as I was sat here. I was like, the way it was making you so deliberately do it, you know, the game was like, every time it was like, do you want to do it again? Do you want to try and say it again? I was like, are we even going to be able to loop from this? Is this going to break the loop, but in the worst possible way? Break the loop by breaking, like, I don't know, everything? Causing serious problems? It still might have caused some problems, we don't know, but it was in that moment where I was like, man, I really wish I'd saved before that fight. But I think we're okay. You cough, cough, cough. You cough until you can't move or even breathe anymore. Your throat hurts. You couldn't say it. Despite almost physically tearing yourself apart to try and say it, still couldn't say it. You couldn't say it. Well, we understand a lot more about the king now. What was the point, anyway? What was the point of saying its name? It is overall fairly meaningless other than to just understand the king more. We don't gain anything from it per se. What was the king thinking? It's gone. Your home is gone and has been for a long time. There's nothing you can do to bring it back. Doesn't the king see that? Doesn't he see that you have to let go? You start laughing. Will you ever take your own advice? No, obviously. But I guess now the goal is to convince the king to let it go. You need to go and talk to the king one last time. Okay, alright. Okay, alright. I was wondering if that might have changed Sifrin's expression again, but nah, he's alright. So I don't think this is going to be the end. Right, I'm just putting it out there. I don't think it is. We're still in Act 3, and I think there are more than 3 acts, from what I can tell. Nevertheless, this seems like a big moment, right? And if it is a big moment, which is always an if, you know, it's distinctly possible that the game's going to be like, alright, but we're going to make the fight harder this time. Like, genuinely harder. It's distinctly possible we'll go talk to the king and nothing will happen, but what if it does? What if it does? It's important. What if it does? The last thing I want is to finish this game with everyone not being, like, super happy friend time. You know, I want that nice ending to it. But the thing is, even if we do talk the king around, we'll just go to the head housemaiden afterwards and, you know, loop again. I don't see why that wouldn't be the case. I think the game would warn me if something was going to happen. It would be like, yo, you might want to have your ducks in a line when you do this run. I genuinely think the game would warn me. So you've looped back a lot using tears, haven't you? Yes. Was it on purpose or did you trip into them? I've never tripped into them on what? Well, I'm just clumsy, I guess. Teehee. You sure are, teehee. I suppose it is useful. It's a fast way to loop back. Isn't it tiring, though, having to walk back to find one? Are you tired? Are you annoyed yet? Are they trying to get on your nerves on purpose? Not on purpose! It's just trying to make conversation. It is annoying to have to walk back every time, though. Right? Well, there's no faster way, and it's either this or die in a fight, so I'd say the tears are better. Is it the only way? Oh, I do have a dagger. Oh, fucking hell, Sif. I mean, I would rather go find a fucking tear. Do we even want to entertain that thought? That's a dangerous thought to entertain. Yes, granted, let's look at it objectively, right? We are dying. We are facilitating our own demise and trying to avoid using certain keywords here, not because I care about YouTube, but because it might be distressing to certain viewers, and I'd just rather not. Because if I didn't refrain from using those kinds of words, I'd use them all the fucking time during this series because it's relevant. But the game itself is also refraining from saying the word I'm thinking of, so I'm trying to engage in the same spirit, as it were. We're facilitating our own demise frequently. But with the tears, you can at least say, well, you're not dying, you're just going to sleep, you know? It's different. And with the rock, you can at least be like, well, it's an accident, you know, you slipped on a banana peel. But a dagger? That's deliberate. There's no two ways around that. That's it. That's you performing that on yourself. That's it. There's no other... Yeah, I'm curious, not because I want to use that ever, but because I'm curious about the discussion. I would want to see what Loop thinks. Does Loop have morality in this respect, or is Loop just going to be like, oh yes, I suppose it is more efficient? But I don't want to push Sifrin down that line of thought. Then again, Sifrin's already having the thought because it's a dialogue option. I suppose I can have the conversation, and if it goes, hey, you've unlocked the ability to loop using your dagger, I'll be like, well, I'm never going to fucking use it, because fuck that. I might be reading into it too much, but I don't know. Well, let's see what the conversation is. I do have a dagger. Yeah, you sure do. What do you mean I do have a dagger? Yeah, how are we going to broach this? We're already dancing around the topic. Are we about to address it directly? Stardust, are you serious? That's the response I actually wanted from you, Loop. Thank you. I do appreciate it. I really do. That's exactly the response I wanted from you. You want to stab yourself and die so you can loop back. You shouldn't. Stabbing yourself isn't as easy as touching a tear, you know. Yeah, there's a lot involved, like pain and also the mentality of it all. It'll hurt a lot. That's quite a reaction from Loop, yeah. It'd definitely hurt, yeah. That's true. That's precisely the right facial expression. So you won't think about it anymore. I wanted to bring up the topic. I don't want to fucking lean into it. Not because I myself am squeamish about it, but I don't want to push Sifrin in that direction. I just don't. Nah, I won't. It was just an idea. Okay. Good. Anyway, how can I help you this time with literally anything else? Warning, sharp, think about your dagger. Yeah, but not too much. It was probably just dialogue. It's probably fine. The game... Hang on. Stuff keeps showing up on my screen. There we go. It was probably just going to be a conversation. Like, the game's not too... The game isn't shy, but it's not graphic either, or... I'm not sure what the term would be. It's not heavy-handed with these themes. It does... It uses a light touch, you know? It's not too overbearing with those kinds of things. But I was just worried. It's not entirely out of the realm of possibility that we could have led Sifrin down that line of thought. I don't know what you can and can't do in the game. I don't want that to happen to Sifrin. The only reason I would want to pursue that line of thought is because I'm curious. I'm like, well, what kind of conversation are we going to have about this, you know? It's dialogue. I'd say 99% of people play this game for the dialogue, for obvious fucking reasons, because it's great. I may have just missed out on some interesting dialogue and perhaps more insight into what Loop is like, but I just didn't want to risk Sifrin's in a bad place. I don't want to give him a push, you know? Fuck. But I honestly think we already learned a bit more from Loop than that. Just from that, even. Because Loop was like, no, absolutely not. No fucking way, don't do that. That's, no. And I'm like, yeah, that's exactly pretty much what I said before we got into it. They probably would have had similar things to say about it to dissuade Sifrin if I had lent into the subject. But I'm happy not knowing, at least here, because I didn't want to... I don't know, I didn't want to do that to Sif, I suppose. Something happened to this country to make it disappear even in people's minds, and he wants to freeze Fogart in time to make sure that in a twisted way it'd never be forgotten. What a blinding idiot. Loop. I have to talk to him one last time. Stardust, you're worrying me today. The king is trying to remember our country, trying to keep Fogart from meeting the same fate. He's deluded. He can't bring it back, but you have to try. Just do whatever you want, Stardust. Have fun. Okay. Alright, well, you know what? Maybe I won't set up a really nice, happy situation if I'm gonna go do that, huh? Loop 55. Boy, we're getting through them. What a delicious death. Do you know how refreshing it is to play a game in the modern age where I'm given a decision to make and it's not a clear, like, well, this would be the good thing to do and this would be the bad thing to do? I'm not saying that never happens. There are definitely games out there like that. There are plenty. But there are plenty more that are just like, well, this is the blue option, this is the red option, you know? Whereas this game literally had moments where I sat down and was like, what if I do this? What's gonna happen? You know, like saying the thing the king wanted me to say, and then again talking to Loop about the knife. I was sat here like, what if? What happens? What if I go along with it? What outcome is there gonna be? Will this affect things in a major way? I'm gonna put on my fucking having played for video games for 30 years hat on for just a moment. I'm relatively familiar with how games work and, you know, the work behind developing a game and like how they kind of work and that kind of thing. I'm not a dev. I'm nowhere near that level of experience and knowledge, and I'm not pretending I am. But what I do know is that in many cases, and you probably know this too, I'm not pretending you don't know and I'm lecturing you, I'm just saying for the purposes of this topic. In many cases, games will offer you choices, but those two choices will lead to very similar outcomes unless you're at the end of the game, at which point it will do one of two endings, right? That's the typical format. There are exceptions. Baldur's Gate 3 lets you take things in many different directions. Let's use a recent example. But in a lot of cases, you say something, they give you one of multiple responses, and then events turn out the same way. Or events will turn out in a variety of different ways, but those events do not matter in the grander scheme of things. It won't really come up again, or it might be referenced a little bit. The key to a good game with those kind of choices in them is not actually providing the player with a million different decisions with a million different outcomes. That's nice, but that's not the core of what makes it good. What makes it good is providing your player with choices that will essentially lead to the same outcome regardless what they pick, but they sit there and go, what will happen? They sit there and agonize over a choice that you know as the dev doesn't even matter. Things will turn out the exact same fucking way, but the player can't be sure. The player doesn't know. You've made them doubt. You've made them doubt their understanding of how these narratives are displayed, are told, how they experience them, and they sit there and they think and they doubt and they're unsure and they agonize over a decision. That is good narrative. That is good design of your story and for putting decisions in your games, not necessarily giving your players the freedom to make whatever choices they want, but making the choices they do make, which actually don't matter in the grand scheme of the video game, matter to them. Now, is that damaged on a repeat playthrough? Yeah, totally. Of course it is. But I would argue that the first playthrough of every game is the most important one. Surely. Especially a game like this, which is quite linear. You're not going to get halfway through this game and then start again because your fucking build ain't right. There are no builds. It's not a build game. This is purely a narrative experience. The first playthrough is everything. And there are probably details you can pick up on repeat playthroughs, so there is replay value. But the first playthrough is everything. Is everything. Because you need to be able to sit there and doubt and wonder and tentatively pick something like, what is going to happen if I do this? I backed down from a discussion with Loop that probably doesn't do anything, but I backed down because I genuinely felt like this could do something, or it could be bad, or because I just didn't want to do it to Sifrin. That is how you know you've made something good. Not just been like, oh well, here's 9 different decisions with 9 different outcomes, but you don't fucking care about any of them. It's a key difference. You can make having a million different decisions work and be effective. Look at Baldur's Gate 3 as an example. But I don't know, I have a lot of respect for a game which probably doesn't have that many branching paths, but makes you feel like it does, or at least makes you feel like the decisions you're making actually matter. King, I got more questions for you. How about we stop fighting though? Let's stop fighting. Sifrin! What are you... Oh, well, I wasn't expecting that one. Oh, okay. You don't need to fight anymore, do you? You understand what the king wants, how he feels. If only you could make him understand. We don't have to fight, because we're looking for the same thing. Oh, Kisama! I know, I understand why you're doing this. But this isn't the way to do it. We can protect this country another way. You don't need to freeze it forever. Do you really want it all to end? Oh, well, when you put it that way... Oh. Let's just stop fighting. Leave this country be. We don't need to keep holding on to it. Let's just let it go. We have to let it go, King. Oh. I feel like I'm going to make a quick prediction here. Because I like doing that. I bet right now he's going to be like, no, I have to save it. But if you do all of the side quests with all of your friends, you either make a much more compelling argument or they all chime in and then you manage to persuade him to stop fighting. I suspect that's what it is. Perhaps you... Oh, well, okay. Perhaps you are right, Bright One. Huh? What? Let us stop this battle. Let us talk to one another. As people from the same country. Cool. I beat the fight again. Man, I'm good at this. The king has stopped fighting you. You lower your dagger. Sifrin. Is this it? You're gonna stop? Right, yeah. They don't... yeah, it might even be a case of the rest of the party just don't trust your decision. But if you earn their trust by doing all the side quests, they go, alright, well, if you think so, then we'll stand down. But if you don't, they hit the king while he's not defending himself and kill him. And then you have to go through it properly. It's one of the two things... Well, it's probably the thing I'm just saying, if it is even that. I don't know, I'm kind of all over the place because there's a lot happening. You're gonna stop just like that? Boniface, you destroyed my home, froze my sister, froze all of Vogard in time. And you'll just stop just like that? Oh, I wasn't really thinking about that, you know. I will. I have fought for long enough, and I'm starting to realize that even if I did win, my victory would be short-lived. Because you'd be frozen in time yourself, maybe? Stupid. Kinda, but you didn't have to say it. Perhaps, but if someone from my own country is the one asking, then shouldn't I listen? Well, that's not how that works, but I hear what you're saying. Oh, after all, only a fellow compatriot would understand my pain. Alright, that makes more sense. Yeah. You said you and Sifrin are from the same country? We don't know where Friend is from, so... What happened? The king cries out. You all take maximum damage and die. I'm sorry. Don't know my own strength, you know. Oh, but that's the problem, isn't it? That's what we'd like to know as well, isn't it? If I mention it, you might be able to remember it for a brief second. The fate of the island north of Vogard. An island north of Vogard? Is it perhaps the one we can't say the name of? The one no one can remember anything about? The very one. That's where you're both from? So then what happened? That's kind of the problem, actually. King sobs. I suppose your story might be similar to mine, Bright One. One day, I just woke up on a beach on a coast north of Vogard. I woke up slowly, as people sometimes do, expecting to remember where I was, what I was supposed to be doing that day. But nothing came to mind. And as I realized nothing came to mind, I also realized I could not remember a single thing. What was I doing here on this beach? What chores I had to do on that day? How I got here? Why I didn't recognize my surroundings? My past, my family, my name, the language I spoke, the alphabet I wrote with, the stars, the country's inhabitants, culture, beliefs, its very name. I could not remember anything, because all my memories, everything even slightly connected to the country I came from, just cannot be accessed easily anymore. And it makes sense, doesn't it? No one on this planet can remember our home as it was. Most people from outside it who had limited ties to it only forgot the country's existence. Maybe forgot a friend from there or a distant family member. But for someone who had ties to it, who was born there, lived in it, breathed it day and night, there would be nothing to remember. There would just be Emptiness. I was cut off from my very existence. My entire past, my entire identity, erased. Memories make up the core of who we are, don't they? They're proof that we existed, that we are real. Can you be certain of anything if you do not remember how you learned it? And if you do not remember your past? If you only know it has been erased from your memory because something happened to your home? And if something happened but no one remembers what or why, then what's stopping it from happening again? What if we forget it all? What if we lose it all once more? The king sobs. And you had to make sure it wouldn't happen again, at any cost necessary. And if the universe led you on this path, then it must be what the universe wants. The universe leads. We can only follow. Oh, even if you don't agree with my methods, Bright One, I can tell you understand. No matter what, I could not let this happen again. I could not. Not to Vogard. Not to Vogardians who housed me, cared for me, loved me. I do not want to forget it all, not again. I will keep the things I love close to me. I will make sure they can keep existing, so that they can be remembered forever. That's quite a thing. Oh, yeah, I mean, just to be fair, Mirabelle, yeah, a little bit. Kinda. Goddamn. That was what I thought. This whole time. This whole time. But, I can see that I was mistaken. You're right, Bright One. We can find another way to protect the people we love. So, please, while I still can, let me change my mind. Let me help you. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? What can you do? You know fuck all about the loops. Change. Yeah, he changed, didn't he? Ah, Mirabelle. Madame, if he truly means it, shouldn't we try? Or are we deciding he cannot change? I can't believe that. I want to believe that even the worst person can change. A deal? Please. We have to try. We haven't even asked Bonnie. I don't think Bonnie's just gonna come around on this, to be honest. Nothing against Bonnie, but they are a child. And this is a lot of complex stuff. I'm with Mirror and Sif. Fine. Okay. I'll follow you, friend, but I don't know, I'll trust you all. I can't do anything anyway. You breathe out. If you can end this loop without fighting, if you and the king can come to an understanding, then, Bright One, Sifrin, won't you stand next to me? Oh? I can bring everyone back. Make sure they'll all move again. I wonder. I do in fact wonder. Because everyone assumed, very much assumed, that defeating the king would unfreeze everyone. Would it? Did we see evidence of that? I mean, I guess the head housemaiden was evidence of that, but that's one person. And I can't remember, because I keep skipping her dialogue now because we've seen her multiple times. I can't remember if she said, oh, I was frozen and then you saved me. I assume she was. I assume she was frozen. But maybe time itself keeps resisting this. Or something keeps causing this to loop because defeating the king and killing him is not the way to save everyone. Maybe the king is important. Maybe the king is required to prevent Vogard from being, you know, whatever happens to the old country. Maybe the king is important to be kept alive. There's something to it. Together, but I cannot break the curse on my own. Creating the curse was easy, but unraveling it asks for more power than I possessed. So does that mean that the king wouldn't have been able to unfreeze the entire country if we killed him? And that might be why it keeps making us loop back. Or, it might not be. It might just be a completely unrelated factor, but it is an important thing that we need to deal with. We can't beat the game and then be like, oh, sorry, Bonnie, your sister's still frozen. That's not satisfying. I don't want that ending. but with the help of someone else. Someone who truly wishes for the curse to be lifted. There's like 5 of us, so that would probably do it. Is that how it works? It does, if someone wants it enough. Sifrin, should I do it? Should you? I mean, I suppose I should. That's all that's needed. If all that's needed for the curse to break is your help, you're the one who made the king change his mind. The least you can do is help. He starts to walk over to the king. Fooled you, whap. Man, that was easy. Oh, wow, really? Come on now. Oh, you motherfucker, are you serious? Oh, bright one. Not that bright after all. What a fucking dick. Oh, you motherfucker. I didn't think he had the guile, I gotta be honest. He just did not seem to have the guile. He didn't seem there enough to come up with such a ruse. That's why you have to send Mirabelle. Because she can't be frozen. Oh, come on, man, why? The king froze your bodies in time. You can think and move your head still, so it's not over, but you can't move. No. King, you. I can't. Wait, Mirabelle should be able to move. She was blessed. Why can't I move? Bright one, Sifrin. Is this really all I needed to do? To make you trust me? I just needed to listen to your empty words. To tell you how sad I am. To make you think I was pathetic. Wow, I have to give him credit. That's a fucking A+ performance. To be pitied. You should have told me sooner. Killing you like this is easier than fighting. Wow. What? No! Everyone! What was it you wanted me to do? Let go of my goal. Let go of my wish. Let go of the wish that kept me going all of those years. I will never let it go. Vogard, our country, I will make sure they are kept perfect forever. Because, ooh, I can tell, Sifrin, this isn't how it should be. I saw it all, you know. I saw the signs, the way you came in to face me, like you knew exactly what you were about to fight. The way your companions all flinched hearing my voice, but not you. The way you knew about my home, the way you can keep it at the forefront of your mind. Like you've practiced as I have. Yes. Ooh, I can tell, Sifrin. I should have won. I should have won long ago. That's true, he did win fair and square, actually. Well, fair and square, quote unquote. He has an ultimate first attack that is bullshit, but he should have won in the sense that if you play a fighting game character who can do 100% damage unblockable on the first hit, yes, technically they deserve to win, but, you know, feels bad, man. But something went wrong, didn't it? Victory keeps escaping my grasp. Sifrin, it's you, isn't it? The one who's keeping me from winning. How many times? Like 6 now, I want to say? 5? Hard to say. Have you kept me from my victory, Sifrin? You can't breathe. What is he talking about? What? I can tell. I can feel it. The scent. This overpowering sweet scent. It's just my aftershave, dude. Why do you gotta be weird about it? I can taste the power of wishcraft. Babe, wake up. New craft type unlocked. Huh? Wishcraft? I can tell, Sifrin. It's you. You're the one keeping me from total victory. You're the one keeping me from my perfect ending. Oh, ironic, no? If only you weren't here. Don't wish me not here. It would be a big problem. For me. I thought those were TVs for a second. But, a quick death would be too easy for you. Oh, wow, really? You'd just come back anyway, won't you? So, I just need to make sure that today, you learn your lesson. Oh, wow, yeah. Well, I was wondering how long it'd take to get here, right? We were just discussing the concept of a painful death with Loop, right? Dying and coming back over and over again sucks anyway, but what's worse than that? Dying and coming back painfully. Ooh. Not sure what I'm looking at. Oh, no. No, 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 no. Ooh, that's dark. That's pretty fucking dark. The king grabbed onto Bonnie. Bonnie, no. Curse you, king, let them go. Bright one, Cypherin. Stop literally saying my fucking name. Look at me. You need to learn not to cross me again. I will kill this child, Jesus Christ. And your housemaiden, and your fighter, and your researcher. It concerns me that he knows their classes. I will kill them all, one after the other. I will kill them all now and make sure you remember. I will force you to watch, so you will learn. That's no good. Friend! The king is tightening his grip. Bonnie! No, please, no! Come on, stupid body, move! Boniface! Oh, this is bad. Oh, this is bad. Oh, this is bad. None of you can move. Your whole body hurts, you can't move, but you have to do something. Save Bonnie. You need to find a way to loop back somehow. You need to die, a tear, anything. Just loop back. Help me. Oh, no! Just let him go, please. Not Bonnie, please. Something feels like it's caving in on itself. Imagine if that was the narrative it was about to set up, where it's like, oh, by the way, the king has to kill Bonnie, and that's the only way loops will end. That'd be terrible. Curse you and your whole country. Yeah, fuck that place. Curse you and everything you stand for. You taste sugar on your tongue. Bonnie! You have to loop back. Loop back, loop back, loop back, loop back. Come on, do it. Need to loop. When you come back, bright one, remember this. Loop back! Did he actually? Go back, go back, go back, go back! Yeah, ooh, that was a bad one. Oh, stars, no, 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 no. You clutch your chest and try to catch your breath and forget. It's fine. You loop back. It's fine. It's fine. They're fine. Bonnie is fine. Looping resets everything. Everything that just happened has been erased. Everything's back to normal. Bonnie is back to normal. Just go and see them. They're fine. They're fine. They're fine. Really. They're fine. They're fine. You're fine. A whimper escapes you. No, you're okay. Bonnie is okay. Everyone is okay. They have to be okay. Just breathe. Breathe, 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 breathe. Bonnie. Bonnie is okay. You're okay. I'm believing it less and less. See, because of the way loops work, they won't remember anything. They're not hurt. Everything is back to normal. There's no reason the loops would work differently this time. Why are you doing... you're making me nervous. Just breathe and stand up and make sure. Get back to the stage. Follow the script. The script. You have to make sure Bonnie is okay. Nostalgia talk to the king. What a motherfucker. I had no idea he was capable of that. He always seemed like such a fucking wet blanket. Turns out he's actually kind of dangerous. Oh boy. Okay. Right. Well. Everything's fine. Act 4. Hey, we're in a new act. Everyone's still here. That's good. Two main people to go speak to are Bonnie and Loop, probably. Cypherin, you're... Oh, Change, you look really, really tired. I thought you were taking a nap. Did you not sleep well? No, not really, haha. Oh no, sorry to hear that. I was gonna tell you something, but forget about it. Go on and do whatever you need to do today. Sure. Do you know if Bonnie's okay? Bonnie? Why wouldn't they be? I saw them near the fields earlier to the east if you'd like to talk to them. You nod. Okay, I'll leave you alone. Make sure to rest up and we'll meet for dinner at the clock tower later. You nod again. Habit takes over and you tell her about the Catholic carrot method. And wink. You see if Bonnie is okay. Bonnie! Bonnie! Have you been smooshed? You tell me if you were smooshed, right? You would tell me? They seem fine. Bonnie is here, alive and whole. Bon! Huh? What did you... Bonnie. How are you? You doing alright? I'm... Okay. Good. And how are you? You look bummed out. What's wrong? Nothing is wrong at all. Okay. Well. What do you want? Nothing. You have to go and see Loop. Loop! I had a bad dream that was real. And then it wasn't. It was a whole thing. Get out of here, Easter, I'm busy. Whoa, what's wrong? I need to do the favor tree thing. Oh, do you need me to leave? Sure, but let's talk later, okay? We have conversations today? And Loop's just like, ugh. Fucking hell. That was a whole thing, wasn't it? Hey, stop. Just say I told you so and we can move on. I told you so! Oh, what a stupid idea you had. Thinking the king could be turned good. It seemed to work. I don't know. He's the king. He's probably the reason you're here, or related to it at least. And all you have to do is find out he shares your tragic backstory for you to feel pity for him. He didn't have to lift a finger. Or because of you, Bonnie was... I think... Right. Rambling time. Hit the music. I don't know how long this will actually be, so it'll be really embarrassing if it's quite short. I think this actually leans back to my theory from a while ago, right? And I don't want any of this confirmed. Just don't even acknowledge I'm saying this, okay? This is just for you to, like, hear, I guess, not to react to in the comments, if you would. If I'm right, if I'm wrong, I don't want to know. Because if I'm wrong, then that's also information if you tell me I'm wrong. So I just don't want to know at all. But I talked before about how Loop's language when talking to Sifrin sounded similar to what an abusive partner, or perhaps not even a partner as such, but someone who was very overbearing and controlling of someone else. One of those kinds of relationships. You know, we went through the whole thing. I don't need to describe it again. You probably remember, you probably heard it. It's probably in your brain at least somewhere. If you haven't heard it, then go back and watch it. I don't know. My point is that I talked about all of that, and I was like, yeah, it really feels like that kind of manipulative behavior where it's like you can't do anything about me, and they put you down, and they really play down your ability to do anything yourself and play up their own significance. And some of that is kind of weird, but some of it also makes a lot of sense if you take into consideration the theory I have that Loop is another Sif. Because Sif is extremely critical of themselves. So what would happen if Sif met Sif? Would Sif not also be extremely critical of their other self because it's them? Especially one who might be watching themselves make mistakes that they would remember making when they used to be Sif. So, in a very roundabout way, there might be something to that. Where it's like, this is why Loop is so critical, because they want Sif to do better for their family members. It is precisely the same reason why Sif is so critical of themselves, because they want to do better for their family members. It all leads back to the same thing, just from a different perspective. Right? Like just then, it's clear that a lot of Loop's anger in that moment was because of what could have happened to Bonnie. Which almost perfectly mirrors Sifrin's own thoughts. It's hard to say for sure right now, and we've got other mysteries currently at the forefront, but that's worth thinking about. Anyway, I told you so. But also because Loop is very good at deflecting and changing the subject when it starts to move on to them. Like when the topic starts to move on to them, which Sifrin does when talking to the rest of the party. They will try to learn a bit more about Sifrin, or like they'll be like, hey Sifrin, are you okay? And Sifrin will be like, yeah, anyway. They both share that same skill. Quote unquote. It is a skill, it's just not a very healthy one, but it is still a skill. But what he said back then, he mentioned something. Something about witchcraft. He did. What's witchcraft? I don't know. Witchcraft? Crafting wishes? That sounds impossible and way too convenient. He seemed to imply that you were using it. That's what it felt like to me. I've never heard of witchcraft before. We'd barely heard of timecraft. Me neither. I wouldn't even know where to find information about it. But that is new information. So, as stupid as the whole making friends with the king was, you did find something new. Was it worth it? Every time you close your eyes, you still see a hand tightening. I'm also wondering, the way you looped last time, wasn't it? Didn't you do it yourself without dying? Whatever, it's not like your kid will remember whatever just happened anyway. Just put it behind you. Well, it's a bit of a traumatic event, you know. Easier said than done. And this whole thing gave you something else, didn't it? Another memory to equip. Oh, joy. Oh, you didn't even notice. You'll always remember this, after all. Let me do the usual. You got a memory of memories. When equipped, memory of memories allows you to read books you couldn't before. Whoa. The ones written in that language that just gives you a headache. The ones from your country. Oh, that's useful and neat to be able to read your own blinding language. You might as well read any books you find before you forget again, like you do everything else. And if you can read that language, maybe you could explore the house a bit more. Don't despair, Stardust. There's still a path to follow. There's a massive path to follow now that I can read them. Now, I'm pretty sure that most of those books are found, like, in the observatory in the library. 90% certain. But, I should do a full sweep of the castle with this information. This is something that warrants a full sweep of the castle, because there is so much potential information that could be hidden away, could be tucked away. I'm not looking to maybe get absolutely everything in the game. I'm looking to get the best ending I can, preferably, but not necessarily trying to get everything in the game. If there are a couple things I miss, well, for the people who watch this and who haven't played it, it's like, well, now you've got a reason to play the game yourself. I'd like more people to play this. It's a great game. I want the creator to have benefited from its creation, because it's fucking great, and I think people should play it and then tell the person how good they are at what they did for making it. I think it was one person. I think they got some help. I don't remember. I don't know. People mentioned, but I've got a lot in my brain right now. I can't remember everything. Point is, yeah, I'm not going for everything, but I will try and get the best ending I can. In the meantime, though, I'm going to help you on this wonderful new loop. Let's talk about something. Sure, what do you want to talk about? Why Stardust? Because you're what's left, I suppose. What's left? What's left of what? And because it's a cute nickname. You're my little Stardust. My little cutie patootie Stardust. Ew. But just say you don't want to answer, it's fine. But it's so much fun to annoy you instead. Distracting people with puns and jokes is the best way to evade stupid questions. Yeah, this is literally what I just talked about. Yeah, you can relate. Yeah, you can relate, actually. Yeah, a little bit. I'll ask them about I guess this is more about the king, isn't it? I need a refresher. Sure, Stardust. The King of Throw is in almost all the country of Vogard, and you're trying to beat him so everything can go back to normal. You've beaten him before, in fact. You'll keep beating him, of course. You've also decided that he's misunderstood, or whatever, so you started talking to him to know more about him, to freeze people in time using something called timecraft. It's not something simple to do like rockcraft or scissorscraft, but a craft much more complicated and rare. But it's what allowed him to freeze the entire country in time. In fact, it might be the same power you're using to be able to loop back in time. But timecraft has long been hypothesized to be impossible to control, since it'd probably kill anyone trying to use it. And yet both you and the king are fine. How? He's saying he's able to use timecraft effects to the universe. The universe, the stars, things that are familiar to you but completely unknown to your friends for some reason. He's also from someplace other than Vogard, and the king's armor is covered in stars. Stars. You can recognize them as stars, but you can't remember anything about them, can you? The names of constellations escape you, everyday items' names escape you, your childhood escapes you can't remember anything. And the king keeps asking you if you remember. But you know, don't you? You'll never remember anything. No one ever will. You'll never remember anything about your country. Not its stars, not its faith, not the childhood you've spent there. You can't even read or speak your own language. There's proof it existed, though. The diary in the library talks about it. You can't even say its name, though. Why would you? Even I wouldn't be able to say its name even if I tried. And that's it, isn't it? What the king wants? After having all of his memories of his country erased without warning, being welcomed into Vogard, making his life here, he just wants to make sure what happened to your country doesn't happen to Vogard. And nothing can happen to Vogard if it's frozen in time. How pathetic. He can't accept that it's gone, even now. And you're pathetic, too, for thinking you could make him give up on it. His country, his memory, his life. Did you truly think you could have swayed him from it? From his wish? You can be so blinding stupid sometimes, Stardust. Cool, thank you. The most demoralizing refresher anyone's ever gotten. This would be more about the loops, perhaps? What should I do now? You found out more about your friends and the king. King mentioned something, witchcraft. You can read those books in your language now. Maybe you should explore the house again. I'm also pretty sure there's a room you could access now that you couldn't before. There was something with a door with writing on it that we couldn't read, which is probably the word we need to say to get in. I don't need any help from you, Loop. I've done this whole game by myself with none of your help. Act 4. All right, well, I'm going to leave it there, friends, because we've got a lot to do next time. I'll try and remember this. In fact, I'll write down the note in a minute, detailing it. But next time, I'm thinking full sweep of Dormont, just to make sure we're not missing anything. And then a full sweep of the house to make sure we read everything that we could possibly need to read. We should probably equip the memory so that we can read those books. That's going to be quite important. Anything changed there? No. Okay. Yeah, and check the entire house. I don't think there's really anything on the first floor. I don't think there's much on the second floor. I think it's mostly on the third floor. So this is probably a bit of a waste of time, but I think I'd like to check just to make sure. You never know. But that will be next time, friends. Heavy one today. A lot happened. End of Act 3. Pretty significant. Looking forward to seeing what Act 4 brings. But that'll be next time. Thank you so much for watching. Special thanks to our members and patrons, Rocky Riku, Crescent, Tony the Horse, Cryolytic, Lyra the Hagsire, Abyssal Angie, Hotraman, Saga, Jack, The Elf Lord, Jordan Rothberg, Ninja Dog, Ember Fox, Grand Captain General Peace, Mean Bag Turtle, Malignant Humor, Cuds, Kana Samaria, Poe, Porsche Lebrec, Lifesteal, Mega Mr. Z-Man, Unclever Name, Summercat, Flanny, Painted Dragoon, Lit Potatoes, Proxy, Caminera, Moa, Heartland, Harrick J, Dresso, Sion Distance, Slol, Etherbin, Linky, Xeon Cedar, Bimblewort, Alkia, Honeydew, Sweet Baby Red, Jessica T, Plutonium Pie, Dreamer Ghost, Supple Lullaby, K-Bub, Magic Owl, The Frostbite Monsoon, SCP-168, Namad, and Kaniti 800 for supporting me on YouTube and on Patreon. Thank you so much, guys, and thank you all so much for watching. Yeah, I have to admit, the king had me going and all. I really thought we got through to him. I thought this was going to be the beginning of like how we'd fix the loops, because we'd have the king on our side and all of the power that he has, and it'd be like, all right, now we'll work together to sort it out. But no, very no, extremely no, the most no. Looking forward to curb stomping him again. It'll come with an extra spoonful of satisfaction, I think. But that will probably be next time. And when I do that, hope I see you there. Doodles. Goodbye.